All right, ladies and gentlemen, good Monday morning. Let's go ahead and get airborne with our solo Amazon after Rip Your Face Off election week of the red puddle. Wasn't even a puddle. Absolute embarrassment for the Republicans. Interesting weekend because I was up in, was that Saturday? Saturday went to the Panthers game and they lost to Edmonton and then drove up to Palm Beach for a little not little, big party on this 160 foot yacht in Palm Beach called the Highlander. It's a Forbes yacht, like Malcolm Forbes. It was really interesting talking to some of the folks. There is a massive disconnect. You know, I have some Donald Trump just again, I say anything negative, they absolutely freak out like I am the enemy. This is going to be interesting. The next election has already started tomorrow. When Donald Trump, they invited us to Mar-a-Lago for the announcement tomorrow. They're like, we're right in the front row or whatever. I'm like, I'd rather get my teeth drilled. There's no way in hell I want to be associated with any of that. So we're not going. This is going to suck. He's going to announce his president is running again to try and avoid indictment, and Herschel Walker will lose Georgia. I guarantee you. Trump announces tomorrow, it's over for Herschel Walker, just like a repeat of the last thing. It's insane what's going on. How about this? Did you see this in the news real quick? Before, of course, this came out after the election. After the election, a Texas federal judge said that's clearly unconstitutional. So Joe Biden doing this a month before the election, that everybody, even Democrats, are like, yeah, that's kind of a shameless attempt to buy some votes, was struck down as unconstitutional. Anybody with a brain knows that it's unconstitutional. People without a brain, like the president, didn't even know it. You know, he did an executive order. He's like, I got it passed with a couple votes. The dude's just, I don't even want to talk about the election, guys, because now I'm going to do what's happened in the past. I'm done, right? I shut down. I focus on TGO, Foundation, documentary, friends, and family, and that's it. I don't give a shit. On Instagram last night, I saw there's like a guy just recording typical night in Philly. It sounded like Fallujah, like automatic weapon fire, not a guy squeezing the trigger really quick. It was a machine gun. People screaming. I'm like, I don't care. I wrote that. I'm like, I don't give a shit about Philadelphia, New York City, San Francisco. I don't care anymore. I care for the souls. I care for life. I care for all that stuff. But if you got to help yourself, right? God talks about you gotta act for yourself sometimes. And if you guys the Democrats elected a dead man in Pennsylvania. I'm not talking about Fetterman. He's brain dead. They elected a dead man. So the Democrats elected a dead man, a brain dead man, a man who can't read a teleprompter. Inflation, crime, open borders, fentanyl, Ukraine. I'm done. So I really don't care anymore for anything. I am in the free state of Florida. We love it. And it's funny, who called this last week? You're looking at him. Now, what do you hear in the media? Well, we think maybe because, Ron DeSantis won by 30,000 votes last time. You almost had a crack addict dude as the governor, but DeSantis won. Now he won by like 500, however many thousands of votes. They looked at like New York, Pennsylvania, California, and a couple other places. The net outflows almost equal the exact net inflows into Florida. I don't think I saved that article. I'm like, duh. Any Republican living in a tyrannical blue state left. That was their excuse. Like, you know what? I'm finally done. I told on the boat Saturday, you couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting previous New Yorkers. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Ken Griffin down in Brickell. It's over with for a lot of these, for those states, because everybody came down to Florida. It's just, so I don't care. Benoit, we still don't have some election results. It's a disgrace. It's awful. Maricopa County still hasn't formally reported everything. The state of Florida did it in hours, and Arizona, and they're pompous, like the Maricopa Twitter accounts, like, we know that some of you bots don't care about elections or democracy, but we're going to follow it's like, and Kari Lake's going to lose. How can you go? This is Donald Trump all over again, folks. Who told you in 2020 that Donald Trump would win on election night and he would lose over the coming weeks? I did. And a lot of you were like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's exactly what happened. How come all the Republicans lose over the coming days? They went into the booth, the voting booth on election day with all the momentum. Kari Lake and everything like that was blowing away that Secretary of State lady. And now mysteriously she's losing. And now mysteriously the Secretary of State lady was like walking around where they're counting all the votes. How come she can't, she didn't recuse herself? It's insane. Exactly, kid. What a great strategy. Folks, I salute my enemy when they're good, man. The Democrats supporting ultra MAGA candidates was brilliant. It was brilliant. Almost all of them lost, right? And then, of course, Donald Trump's like, they weren't ultra MAGA enough. They needed to embrace me harder. He's weird. He's a weird dude. I've been to Mar-a-Lago. He's weird. He's creepy in person too. He's got to go. When Donald Trump announces his reelection tomorrow, it's over with. The Democrats need Donald Trump around to win. They need him as a punching bag, and he loves the attention. I can't stand Mitch McCarthy or McConnell, or whatever his name is, McConnell or Leader McCarthy. They're all they're all scuzzy. So the anti-scuzzy was Trump. The anti-scuzzy has to be DeSantis. But they're already labeling DeSantis as a George Bush, Mitt Romney type of rhino. It's going to be really interesting. I'm rambling about this, folks, because hopefully the Republicans, I can't believe we're saying this. I was looking at Solo Amazon from last week before we jumped on here. Red wave rally. Well, I got one of them right. Man, I got that completely wrong. I said 20 House seats. No, I said 30. And I think I said 3 Senate seats, 2 or 3. Wrong. Both wrong. Holy shit, man. So anyway, Thomas, he's not going away into that good night, man. He's just not going to leave. He's the guest that won't leave. If you like Trump and his policies, and you don't like DeSantis, you're weird. He's Trump without the narcissism, and he's Trump without the insanity and the childlike behavior. Ron DeSantis at a press conference can light into a reporter and do it diplomatically, and you're like, yeah, that was good. Trump he's childish. Look at you. You know, you can't dress. You got a stupid haircut. He's just whatever. It's going to get interesting, guys. And he's going to lose it. He's lost like 3 elections in a row, folks. And of course, it's whatever. I can't. All right, guys. I'm not going to dance on the grave of this other than to remind you, I told you so. This was just insanity. The more that they dig into this stuff, now there's Ukraine. FTX sent money to Ukraine that went back to donations to Democrats. You can't make this shit up, man. I think he's in the Bahamas now. I think he's locked up, or they were trying to flee to Oman. I think the COO, this lady, was like, she was trying to get to the UAE because they don't have Holy shit, man. This guy gives billions and billions of dollars in loans to Alameda Capital, run by his girlfriend. First of all, that dude had a girlfriend. What? It used customer funds to back an affiliate's risky venture. Did you see Elon Musk's tweet? Well, he's the number 2 Democratic donor behind George Soros. You think there's going to be one investigation into this guy? Somebody tell me if this dude was a Republican and donated to a shitload of Republicans, if he would be in jail this morning or not. I mean, look at Steve Bannon. or what's his name, the dude down in Palm Beach, that they did the morning raid, 20 Broward sheriff's office boats and sheriffs, and CNN just happened to be there. Folks, this is insanity. This guy went Roger Stone. This guy went from $32 billion on the Forbes list of net worth to zero. Somebody explain to me how an asset class in seconds can go from whatever his made up coin was, his FTX token, $88 to zero in minutes. Somebody, I did. Can you explain that to me? So this is a combination of Lehman Brothers and MF Global. He wanted it last week to be Bear Stearns. He wanted a bailout, and the Binance dude just kind of danced on his grave. But this, ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk was like, yeah, he's a Democrat donor. There will be no investigation into him. But I think he's in Panama, or no, not Panama, Bahamas or something like that. And he's allegedly, they have him on house lockdown or something like that. I can't even believe this. What did I just say? I predicted all this type of shit. Of course I can believe this. I can't believe that people bought into this stuff. We laughed last week that one of my competitor firms, Sequoia, or Susquehanna, or whatever it was, something with an S. On their website, they've taken it down since, like, oh, this guy's a 10 out of 10. He's the best thing that ever happened. I'd throw all my money at this guy. They wrote down all $213.1 million to zero in a day. Whew. So you think you got some bad trades? Imagine being Tom Brady right now. We did this after the Super Bowl, guys. I watched that Super Bowl and all those Bitcoin commercials. Fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the people who aren't stupid. And Larry David, how's Larry David doing? I wonder if those guys got paid in FTX coin or if they took cash. LeBron James, all these stars pushing these coins. What's her name? The Kardashian chick. Unbelievable, guys. Stay away from all this stuff. If you're a crypto Scientologist, it'll be Bitcoin and Ethereum, which will survive. That's it. Over the weekend, it's like they found out that $515 million are missing. They don't know if it's a hack. I thought it's unhackable. Okay, I called that on day one. Of course it's hackable. No, it isn't. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Did man make it? Yes. Then man can hack it. No, they can't. $515 million gone over the weekend. They don't know if it's a hack or if they took it. He took it and the heavies took it. This is a, if I was, what's his name? Stacy Keach at American Greed, I'd be like, holy shit, we have an entire season of content. Yeah, exactly. I love this sign. Growth in progress. That looks exactly, that's like it. One challenge for U.S. prosecutors is showing they have jurisdiction over FTX, which is based in the Bahamas. Little important safety tips, folks. If something you're investing in is like in the Bahamas or the Caymans or something like that, and you lose every penny, you deserve it. Period. Why are they in the Bahamas? So we can't get in trouble if we do bad shit. Where do I send my money? Idiots. Zelensky, this isn't a joke. This isn't a joke. Zelensky and Cocaine Bush are going to give a joint pro-war presentation this week. Zelensky is going to be appearing at the George W. Bush Presidential Center. The goal of the presentation will reportedly to be the address the completely fictional and imaginary concern that congressional Republicans won't continue supporting the proxy war in Ukraine. This isn't a joke. Do you all remember this clip? I played this back when it happened. Do you remember May 18th, what George Bush said? Do you remember this? This is typical George Bush. When he was talking about, Ukraine, he goes, the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq. I mean, Ukraine. Did you see this clip? Has everybody seen this clip? I played it when it happened. This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life, but that's kind of what George Bush was. This guy, and then he laughed about it. He's like, and the whole audience kind of nervous laughed. Watch this on your own. Listen to this. I don't, no, you can't hear it. But he goes, I mean, look at his face. He's like, oh, shit. Yeah, whoops. Well, yeah, that was me who invaded Iraq and killed hundreds of thousands of innocent people. So that's your Ukraine and Zelensky news. That here comes George Bush, war criminal George Bush. Colin Powell, man, I remember him sitting at the UN with like some uranium yellow cake. Now, don't get me wrong. Iraq absolutely had weapons of mass destruction as they are defined. They didn't have nuclear weapons, folks. They had chemical weapons. Remember Chemical Ali? That dude's name? They used it. They killed like 6,000 of their own people, man. You can see the videos. So they had that. Matter of fact, our Marine forces, as they stormed north, they found what? Chemical suits and shit like that. Why? Because Saddam and headquarters were telling them, like, we will rain, devil rain on these invaders and they'll all die. Make sure you get in your suits. It was all bullshit. But, even Saddam's generals believed they had all this stuff. So if his generals believed it, the French intelligence, the Russian intelligence, and our intelligence all believed it, I get how they kind of got that narrative together. But isn't it funny? Again, our intelligence agencies got that completely wrong. We're supposed to trust them blindly and then not trust them and then trust them blindly. So anyway, here we go. So massive rip your face off rally. The all clear sounded, get bullish, buy everything with both hands. Or not. On the way back from yoga this morning, so I told you last week when this happened, I had one buddy is in a shitload of trouble. Because what did I draw last week? That or that, didn't I? I said it ain't going to do this. Is it? We ain't moving sideways. There's going to be something. And a lot of people did what? That happened. Now let's evaluate what that is. Does anybody, let me build my case. Pros pile into puts as stocks soar on the biggest short squeeze ever. What was the big catalyst? It wasn't a red puddle. It was the CPI print, man, at 8.7. No, it came in under an 8 number. And what did the market do? Oh my God, all clear. Everything's great. Inflation's cooling. We're going higher. The Fed's going to pivot. I have to remind you that Jerome Powell, when he spoke last week or the week before, knew the inflation numbers, folks. He knew they were going to come in a little cooler, but still 7, upper 7s. You're telling me here at upper 7s when people still can't buy gas or groceries or shit like that, that it's yay and everything's great? Come on. Cooling inflation, easing COVID lockdowns. There's COVID lockdowns? Didn't some state, somebody, where was I? Where am I? I don't even know where I am. Somebody's like, holy shit, dude, our mask mandates are coming back. Or was it Brazil? No, it was Brazil. Oh, yeah. I was hanging out with some Brazilians up in Palm Beach. They're like, oh, yeah, Lula is bringing back masks in Brazil. Good job, Democrats or socialists or criminals. Chatter around Russia-Ukraine peace deals. They were the triumvirate of bullish themes that outweighed any contagion from the shit show, SBF. Folks, no offense to anybody on here if you got this, but anybody with a last name that's a hyphen, first rule of life is never to trust them. That's my experience. So, because if everything was so frigging awesome, why did institutional put option hedging just hit a record high? And this was last week. After yesterday's avalanche of less hawkishness. None of them were actually dovish, by the way. Today was a small flurry of Fed speak from Susan Collins. We have more work to do to tame inflation, but the risks of going too far have increased. What did she sound like? She sounded like, who's the XO, the lady? Remember before Jackson Hole? She was hawkish for like 5 sentences and then said, well, we don't want to go too far. And what happened? All the market heard was the last sentence. No. That's the Treasury Secretary, the Vice Fed Chair, Lane Brainerd, right? Or whatever, Lael Brainerd, whatever her name is. So all they heard was hawkish, dovish. I listened to the dovish. I think that as we have raised rates, that the risk of over-tightening has increased. I do think we're going to raise rates further. But guess what? The market only heard this. The market only cares when it cares, and it only likes listening to the things it likes hearing. Collins said a smaller, more deliberate rate increase should be not confused for a sign that we're backing down. So when I look at the totality of what she said, this is hawkish. I mean, it kind of, doesn't it go without saying, folks, that the Fed doesn't want to go too far? That's kind of a duh. I think that's baked in, but I'm wrong, because when I hear when I see all this stuff like that's hawkish, well, that's hawkish. Oh my God, that's really hawkish. Well, that's a little dovish. Boom. The market just sees a big pile of shit and they keep digging through it to find the pony, right? If there's a pony at the bottom, they're like, hey, look. So the message seems to be uniform. More to come, but slowing pace and over-tightening risk we don't want to do. Which is funny because that's the exact opposite of what Powell said. Excuse me. What did Powell say in the press conference? He said the exact opposite than what this lady said. He actually said, I'm okay with the risk of over-tightening versus we don't want to underperform. Didn't we all listen to that together? So the message seems to be uniform, right? Or not. And that in turn sent stocks soaring to their best week since November of 2020, folks. Can anybody remember what was going on in November of 2020? That seems like a world ago, ladies and gentlemen. Look at November of 2020. The good old days. Boom. Look at the COVID crash, man, from February to March. Remember that? The beginning of a scandemic, a plandemic that resulted in that. Tens of millions of people getting laid off, Americans getting laid off, people dying. And the market did this. Always remember that. I mean, this seemed like a lifetime, didn't it? It didn't seem like a lifetime to me. I've never made more money in my entire existence as a human in this universe than right there. Wrote a book about it. Made a lot of people in this room a shitload of money. You made yourself money. I didn't. I made me money. If you guys made money, you did it. I didn't do it. And then that happened, and then that was easy. Now it's a reckoning. Now it's a reckoning. But this rally is like this. Does it have legs? We'll see. So let's do our quick reminder to everybody about trench warfare. Everybody watched Yosemite last night? That was actually pretty good. There is the 50-day. I'm sorry, 200-day. See, I'm upside down, man. That's the 200-day. Then we have the 100-day. Then we have the 50. We are in trench warfare right now, man. We are having violent moves in between the moving averages. Can this happen? Yes. I don't think it will. With all the put buying that just happened, folks, I think we're going to come back to the 100 and get a little get some air underneath us, okay? Because we should knock on wood, this week get some sort of announcement that the Republicans have like a 1 or 2 seat majority. And did you see what happened? Even these Freedom Alliance guys and gals, is that what they're called? The Freedom Alliance in the House, the Republicans, they want to nominate Donald Trump to be Speaker of the House. Did you see what some of the Democrats want to do? They want to nominate Liz Cheney. Well, Donald Trump isn't a congressman. Liz Cheney isn't a congresswoman anymore, or she moves out in a month or two. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a political science major, but you should know this. Any United States citizen can be the Speaker of the House. They could nominate me and I could be the Speaker of the House. Could you imagine if they did that? Donald Trump, Speaker of the House. Then Republicans vote to impeach Joe Biden and Donald Trump's in charge. It can happen. Yeah, thanks, kid. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Remember, folks, that we are going through this. The economy is absolutely slowing. Again, walking around on the Forbes yacht, kind of hearing some cracks. And these are filthy rich. These are filthy rich. In the housing market up in Palm Beach, starting to hear little cracks in the MAGA stuff, starting to hear when the rich start talking about money, it's bad, right? Of course, I'm the guy that, how much does it cost to fill up this boat? And people are looking at me like, I'm like the guy in the Grey Poupon commercial. Or no, the Polana all fruit. Will you please pass the jelly? People are like, oh my God. U.S. consumers will be spending much less this holiday season because they're already tapped out. Duh. Layoffs, you got it, Karen. The tech sector. Mark Zuckerberg crying into a camera. I'm so sorry, 11,000 of you are gone. Elon Musk, Amazon, you name the company, people are getting laid off. But the jobs market is strong, according to Joe Biden. Okay. It better be. We need it. PPI tomorrow morning, man. The producer price index. Okay. How's that looking? This one's choppy. It's not like CPI, man. This thing's all over the place. I don't get that. That makes no sense to me. Couple lieutenants speaking tomorrow. Retail sales, cap rate, industrial production, another Fed lieutenant, Christine Lagarde, NAHB, crude oil. How's our strategic petroleum reserve doing? Bullard, there's a lot of Fed lieutenants this week. What's going on? Philly Fed, unemployment weekly, building permits, housing starts. Bowman, wow, Mester. This is Fed Lieutenant Week. Existing home sales conference board. Wow. Amazon, last week, awesome bull put spread, 87.86 bull put spread. Thought about an iron condor. Glad I didn't because it just blew up. $2,500 profit last week. Nice job. Had to eject, or no. How high did we get last? I didn't. What was, how high did we get? Duh. Last week was a blur, man. Where was Friday? Was it 9? I think I ejected out Thursday? I forget. I can go look at my things. No, I did. I closed out my short calls because it was on the edge. They were what, 93s. Yeah. I ejected out of those. So folks, remember in short call, right? Yeah, they're gone. Or I would have been long. Remember, treat your short calls as what? A bear call spread. I briefed it when we put this trade on. 7, 8, 9. if you're looking at a 70, 80, 90% in your short calls, close them. Double the credit you take in. Whatever credit you took in for those short calls, when Amazon and the whole market started to race higher, eject. What were they, $1.10? So at 220, you needed to eject out of those calls. So that ate into a little profit of the bull put spread. That's fine. Still a profit, still a good week with solo Amazon. I love it. Yeah, guys, remember, if you're short calls, if you're on the wrong side of a trade, like something's going against you, you ain't going to get out at the market or something like that, man. You're going to have to get out. You're going to have to pay to get out of it. Okay. So for this, what else do I have going on? That's about it. Psychedelic stuff. We'll talk about later in the week. All right, let's go with Amazon. I think we're going to take a little bit of a break this week. Yeah, there was nothing on there. I think we're pulling back and going down. So let's do, it's bear call spread time weekly. If you are new to solo Amazon or you don't have this on, we have synthetic stock. So this is our underlying base position. We have synthetic stock at 100 and we have a disaster put at 8. So take a screenshot of that. I would get my Amazon on. We have a rest of the year rally. This is what we want to be doing, man. So get in it to win it. Amazon. Jeff Bezos talking and let's get our bear call spread on before this thing starts really imploding like SPX is coming out. Options. Let me look real quick. 99 or 100? This week's expiration, we'll get a little bit of volatility. Why isn't it 98? $102. Jeez. There's some wide. We might go up to 100 here. $70. What did we do last week? 75? I think it was 75. Perfect. Similar trade to last week, but in the other direction. Sell 75 of this Friday's 100 calls. That's me saying I don't think that. Oops, sorry. Sell 75 of this Friday's 100 calls. In case I'm wrong and we get another rip your face off rally, it just continues. We start heading all the way up to that 200-day. We're buying 101. So bearish using calls, it's a spread. This is a bear call spread. It's also a credit spread, bringing in $2,600 to do this trade. Okay, let's go ahead and analyze it. Risking about 49 to make 26. 1 to 0.5 risk to reward. I like that. We make money on this trade 3 ways. It goes down. Amazon does. It stays where it is. Or it can even go up a little bit as long as it stays below 135 cents. Okay? The only way we lose money is if it blows out. Let me grab screenshots of this. 35 cents plus or minus 3 cents. If I get filled at 35, I would maybe eject at 70, right? Double the credit that we take in. You double 35, it's 70. There's your bad. What's the good? Well, 7, 8, 9. If I'm looking at 70, 80, 90% profit on the credit that I took in, close it. Okay, immediate fills. Yeah, go up to 37, man. Try 37. Potentially make a little bit more. You got it, Tony. Yep, we talked about that last week. Dog fighting, right? Talked about it with the SPX spread. If something's going to explode and you're in it, you can always close that short leg and let the long leg run. Absolutely. Great call. And then let's get some short calls on. All right. I think we have one more lifetime person joining. She is on the West Coast, and she had a ton of hurricane stuff to deal with. She's the last one we're getting grandfathered into lifetime. Let's do 5 of the sell 5 of the 102s. You could sell 5 of the 100s, which is the same strike as the bear call spread. You could add to that. Sell 5. I'm going to sell 5 of Friday's 100 calls for the synthetic stock, okay? If you have the synthetic stock on, this is a weekly front month upside call that goes against the long synthetic. Okay. Amazon short call 1114. All right. I think I'm good. I have a 10:45 production call I got to go make, so we're going to keep Solo Amazon on time. Any snipers? Nah. There were some snipe opportunities. The first hour of trading and the last hour of trading is Sniper Town. Now you kind of settle and hang for the rest of the day until there's a move towards the close. The mid-afternoon melt up or implosion. You're in a dangerous area between the 39.75 and the 4,000. Oh God, yeah, that was awful, guys. The wings over Dallas. I didn't know any of the guys in the commemorative Air Force. There was a couple American Airlines pilots, a couple United pilots. I think one of the pilots of the B-17 was an Army aviator. Oh, Randy, you were there? Oh my God, man. Awful. Absolutely awful, bro. I'm sorry you had to see that, man. I hate people, man. I love people. I hate people. Just going online. It was deliberate. That was like 9/11. That other plane intentionally ran. Just people are so fucking stupid. People are just dumb. Awful. Fucking B-17, straight level. This dude's in a tight left hand, coming left-hand turn. It's called belly up, folks. As an instructor pilot, what do you teach students to do all the time? Belly checks. Dude, roll wings level and because when you're like this, folks, can you see through your airplane? Unless you're in an F-35 or you're in the Wonder Woman jet, you can't see through the damn floor. I'm always doing, if there are any airplanes around me, in the landing pattern, I'm always doing a belly check, man. Why? Because of what happened with this whole Battle of Britain over that airfield, dude. It's a horror. It was not intentional. People are like, that was mechanical. People are fucking dumb. I can't. I couldn't even. I was getting ready to type up massive responses to everybody on every thread, and I'm like, let it go, Wiz. Let it go. Absolutely. It's exactly right, man. Focused on one area. You can see the right behind the wings of the B-17, man. Belly up, dude. He did not. 6 people don't even know they're dead right now. 6 people, man. It's a tragedy. And I love the other idiots. This happens all the time at air shows. We need to stop air shows. Are you that stupid? Happens all the time at air shows. I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've seen anything like that. People are like, the Blue Angels crash all the time. I'm like, okay. Unbelievable. People are just dumb. the internet just brings out so many people that just, before the internet existed, you didn't know that many dumb people existed, but now you, Eric, it's just, no, I mean, it's just basic common sense, right? If you're in an airplane and you go belly up, you can't see your belly. You got to roll wings level and look out to your right. Oh shit, there's an airplane there. Man, Kid can talk to this, Ponch, all the naval aviators and aircrew, man. We have an upside down wedding cake over the aircraft carrier. The boat's right here, and at every 1,000 foot of altitude is another group of planes. Tomcats, A6s, Hornets, Prowlers, Hawkeyes. Dude, we were always, my first day of flight school in naval aviation, the instructor's like, everybody's trying to kill you. I'm like, okay, including you. I'm like, whoa. He's like, if you keep that mantra the rest of your flying career, nothing bad will ever happen to you. Everybody's trying to kill you and you. It's horrible. I can't even watch it. Exactly. You can't fix stupid, man. Oh, no shit, Serge. In Lemoore, and the landing pattern in Lemoore. Yeah, Serge, I forgot about you. Yep, exactly, man. Oh, the Kuwaiti pilots were awful. Because remember, folks, guess who flies fighter pilots in the kingdom of Kuwait or Saudi Arabia? Royalty. You must be royalty to fly a fighter jet. Only princes can do that. And most of them are stupid. They're inbred idiots. The princes from Kuwait and Saudi Arabia were horrible pilots. The only smart country in the Gulf, Oman. You know who flies for the Omani Air Force? A bunch of retired drunk Brits. We were doing a low-level strike into Oman, about 200 feet, man. I'm thinking I'm sneaking in. And all of a sudden, I see like two shadows. I'm like, what the hell was that? Later, the Brits are like, hey, mate, was that you guys up there at 200 feet? I'm like, where the fuck were you? He's like, we flew right under you and we shot you. I'm like, oh, that's great. So the Omani Air Force is rich and smart enough to go, we suck. Let's bring in a bunch of mercenaries. So the Omani Air Force is like a bunch of drunk Brits. So, yeah, there you go, Sledge. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so Godspeed. I gotta jump on this call. That was a horror. 6 people. There's just the chain of horror. I feel bad for Randy and the people who were there, little kids like watching. Oh, is that supposed to happen? People were like giving this little kid shit online. One of the videos, the kid's like, Mom, was that supposed to happen? People are like, oh, that's a dumb comment. I'm like, it's a fucking kid, man, at an air show. So yeah, were those, whatever. I can't. Just sometimes I wish these things didn't even exist, and it breaks my heart. So, oh, you actually flew in that B-17? Oh man. What a piece of Americana lost. And I feel bad for the dude that hit him. I mean, there but for the grace of God go I. Compassion. It's a mishap, folks. And it's a horror. It's a horror watching people die. The way people are like looking at that online, I can't even watch it anymore. It's heartbreaking. So yeah, I know, man. The Challenger, people are like, well, wait a minute. That's not good. All right, guys, let me send out the text and email alert as I'm multitasking to get on this phone call. I'll see many of you tomorrow for the primary live trade brief. And tomorrow, I forget what time it is tomorrow for Trump. We'll see how the market reacts, man. The market actually might not even like that. Who knows what's going to happen? But anyway, good stuff going on. I'll get the replay posted here shortly. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. Fights on. And namaste. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll see you.